Kyle Bono knows a thing or two about baseball.
I played in very nice stadiums, very nice fields.
He's a former UCF Knights Hall of Fame pitcher who also played professional baseball. But in 2024, he finally won the big one. Just not as a player. He coached his son's team to a Little League World Series title.
And for the first time, Florida are Little League World Series champions.
This was probably the peak of my baseball career, if not the highlight of my life. I mean, being able to do it with my family, I mean, it was special, and it's something I will never forget.
If you know the Bono family, it won't surprise you that they found success on the Little League field of dreams. Their love for each other and for the game of baseball brought them to this point.
You can't talk about the Bono family without it being baseball.
Welcome to BYU Radio's Big Stories, telling the amazing and inspiring tales from the Big 12 and beyond. I'm your host, Cleon Wall. Our episode, Bono Baseball, More Than a Game.
My passion for baseball came from my dad.
My name's Mike Bono.
And I'm Sheila Bono.
We're the parents of 4 kids, Mickey, Kim, Ryan, and Kyle, the twins. I played baseball at Murray State University, and I think she was walking to class, and it's really through baseball that we met. It's been about 50 years since I started coaching, and it all started my oldest son, and they had tryouts, and they were short a coach. And I'd never coached. I'd played a lot of ball, and there were people saying, well, can we have this team or not? If we don't get a coach, we won't have a team. So raised my hand and been coaching ever since.
When our older son, Mickey, started playing, and he's like 7.5 years older than our twins, Ryan and Kyle. And so I didn't want to miss any of his games. And they were like babies. And so I would go into the outfield, and we would set up a playpen. And I would sit the boys in the playpen so I could see Mickey's games while they would sit and play. And that's the way we lived our life, just did whatever it took, to go to ball games.
I'm Kim Bono Kintner. I am the second oldest. We didn't do vacations. We did baseball games or all-star tournaments, so that was life. Even when Ryan and Kyle were born, my dad was out on the field playing fast-pitch softball or softball, so I just remember running to the field to tell them that the twins were coming.
We've always been a baseball family, just playing together, coaching together.
This is Mickey Bono.
Once my brothers came along, just coaching Ryan and Kyle out, every day, playing out in the driveway, throwing them tennis balls, hitting them ground balls, and coaching them from the time I was like 13 years old and they were 7 years old, coaching them all the way up until they were in college.
They are the most competitive people on the planet, those two, Ryan and Kyle. I mean, Mike didn't have to be hard on them. Mickey didn't have to be hard on them. They were hard on each other.
Ryan and Kyle's fraternal fomenting started at an early age.
If we were playing catch in the backyard, if we were even just pitching or catching, it's who's better than each other. So we pushed each other since we were 7, 8 years old.
We competed from day one. It wasn't a way that we wanted to be better than the other one. We wanted to push each other to be better. We both played catcher. We both played pitcher as little kids. Once we got older, we kind of, developed different roles. I became more of a pitcher, third baseman. Ryan was the catcher, pitcher back even in high school.
By pushing each other, competing against each other, and it actually helped our teammates because each teammate would thrive to compete as much as we competed against each other.
Ryan and I were both, not huge kids. We were good baseball players. People knew the Bono family the name would be good players.
Kyle and I were really good basketball players through high school, but baseball was our main focus. We knew that if we wanted to play in college or make a scholarship, baseball was the way to get there. And by hard work over the years, dedication, good teammates, good coaching, it got us to where we were.
The two eventually joined the UCF baseball squad, where they played alongside and were coached by the current Knights head baseball coach, Rich Wallace.
When Kyle pitched, Ryan caught, and there was really not a lot of coaching of Kyle that had to happen during the game. Ryan kind of handled that. There was things that Ryan and Kyle could say to each other that was completely okay between the two of them, but if any other teammate said it to one of them, it was going to be a fight in the locker room. I had a feeling that Kyle was pretty special, just the stuff that he did on the mound. We were at Clemson, and we had to win a game. We lost on Friday night. Kyle started the Saturday game, and there was no way in the world that Kyle Bono was letting us lose that game at Clemson.
I pitched a complete game, nine innings. Gave everything I had. And talk about, leaving it all in the field. I remember after that game, going out to eat with my parents. I couldn't even stand up. UCF made me the player I became. So not only did they give me a scholarship, not only did they give me a chance to play college baseball, which then allowed me to get drafted and play, for the Red Sox and the Diamondback organizations, but they let me develop as a player. Just play with my brother Ryan, being able to play top baseball 15 minutes from where you grew up is unique.
Kyle and I played at UCF for 2 years. He actually got drafted after our sophomore year. I played 2 more years at UCF. When Kyle did get drafted and he went off to play the minors, it was a void for us. It was so different playing the game without him there, which, my intensity was there. It was just I had nobody else to push. The fiery intensity that got me going those years changed because he wasn't around.
When I went to pro ball, he wasn't there. I lost the fire of baseball just because I saw it wasn't a team sport anymore. It was just about individuals. That's kind of the reason I stepped away from the game. I wasn't released, I wasn't cut. I did it because the lifestyle and, not being there as a team and playing a team sport, it was something I couldn't be a part of. So Ryan and I switched over and, we started a company called Landscapes of Florida. So we decided to start mowing lawns as a way to do something in the mornings and still get home in the afternoons to be able to work with our kids in sports.
The Twins have been training kids in the fundamentals of baseball since they were in high school, but they formalized the Bono baseball business within the past decade. That included building a baseball complex on Kyle's Lake Mary, Florida property.
In Florida's weather, just being outside in the rain every afternoon, it wasn't ideal. So, building a facility on my own property was definitely a win-win.
The indoor part of the building includes batting cages, a mound, and a weight room.
Behind that, we have a baseball infield. Luckily, one of our players' parents, was in that line of work and put an infield back there for us. And then more recently on our property, we've added, we have some land, so we decided, hey, let's make this a little farm as well. We got the goats, we got the pigs, we got the chickens, and people love it. They come there for lessons, and the little brothers and sisters run around in the pig pen and the goat pen and just have a great time. It's relaxing.
It was a dream of ours to create this baseball field complex. We get to come here, do lessons every single day, be home with our kids, practice with our clients, but most people don't have this opportunity.
Some of the Bono's best clients are their children, whom they also coach.
My name is Landon Bono, and I play baseball. Baseball is like my life. That's what I just want to do. Just play baseball and have fun.
Landon is Kyle and Sarah Bono's son. Sarah didn't involve Landon in America's pastime until he was 5.
Because I knew once we were in it, we were going to be in it. And that's pretty much how it's been. We just started T-ball, and then ever since he's made every little all-star team. Then we started travel ball, and then it hasn't stopped.
He really brought back the passion and even more so love than I used to have. Now I get to teach him what I know.
They definitely have a father-son competitive relationship. They both push each other's buttons, but in a good way. They go out there and they go and train, and then usually a few minutes later, one of them are back in because they're complaining about each other. They need a little breather, but then they go back out. But they're learning. It's a good learning experience for them both.
Being a dad and coaching our kids is tough because when they get that big hit or make that big block, we might not express so much excitement like we should. We expect it. I know it looks like I'm a hard coach sometimes for especially our own kids, and Ryan the same way, but we train them. We don't give them enough praise. That's the easy way to say it. They earn and deserve more praise than sometimes, being a dad coach gives them.
My dad's a tough coach because he just wants me to succeed and wants me to win, and that's what he's taught me, and winning is the only thing. That's the only thing you can do.
Landon, Kyle, and their Lake Mary Little League baseball team did plenty of winning in 2024.
So for those that don't know, what the Little League World Series is about, it's the pinnacle. It is the best baseball tournament in the world. It takes the top 20 teams in the whole world, 10 from America and then 10 from different countries across the world, get to play in this showcase.
Lake Mary was one of those teams. Their stay in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, though, was not perfect, losing to the team from Texas.
I'm very competitive because when we lost the game against Texas in the World Series, we all knew that we had another chance against them, and we knew we were going to beat them. And then we came out there with the mentality we're going to win, and we did that, and history was made there.
The Florida boys beat Texas 10-7, earning a bid into the winner-take-all Little League World Championship game against Chinese Taipei.
With the runner at second base, Norton. He gets it down. Oh, it's perfect. They throw it away. Right there, he's going to win the Little League World Series Championship.
When we won the World Series, we both just came and hugged each other, and I was just crying in his arms and saying thank you. I don't really hug my dad that much at the house, but in that biggest moment of my life, I just had to go up and give him a hug and thank him.
And all the Florida kids are gathered and holding and hugging and consoling the kids from Taiwan.
I'm 100% proud of Landon, my son. If you watched the Little League World Series, you saw the compassion, they had for the other team. After we beat Chinese Taipei, our kids went over and consoled those other players. Something that, I didn't tell them to do that. It's not something, built into my DNA. That's just not how, it was. We celebrated for about 30 seconds, and then they went over to the other team and said, hey, man, even though we didn't have the same language, they knew that we cared about them. Baseball is life. Baseball is my favorite love now. Again, there was times that maybe it wasn't. It is now.
The game has brought our family together more.
If I had to say thank you to baseball, I would say more than thank you. I would say, God, thank you for bringing it to our lives. Thank you for just being it's more than a thank you. It's my life. Baseball is our life. Baseball is Bono's life.
Being a Bono is more than just a family name. It's a legacy that we're trying to create. My dad started it, down to myself, and now our kids. We want to show people that hard work, community, loving your family, loving your teammates, that's what it's about. It's not about the wins and losses, but about the relationships you build throughout the whole journey.
Bono Baseball, More Than a Game, was produced and written by Whitney Sheffield and Cleon Wall. Music and post-production by Kevin West. A big thanks to ESPN for the highlights. Make sure you watch BYUtv's Big Stories by logging on to BYUSN.com. Big Stories is a production of BYU Radio. Hey everyone, Cleon Wall here again. I'm inviting you to check out another BYU Radio podcast. It's called Deep Blue. It's where you get the true stories of BYU athletes and coaches from their own mouths. It's hosted by my colleague Jason Shepard. Last season, they had great interviews on Deep Blue, including Cougar quarterback Gary Bohannon. He teared up quite a bit talking about his son and what it means for his boy to watch his dad play. Also, BYU swimmer Jordan Tiffany, who quit swimming due to mental health struggles. He talked about how he was able to get back in the pool again. More great conversations for season number 3. BYU running back Hinckley Rapati will talk about his tear-filled journey to BYU. Former BYU tight end Chad Lewis, he's going to reflect back on that special 1996 BYU football season. And BYU basketball players Richie Saunders and Fuseni Traore discuss their unique relationship. It started way before they got to BYU. Please subscribe and listen to Deep Blue with Jason Shepard wherever you get podcasts, or check it out on the BYU Radio app.